recognize Senator Hawley, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General, congratulations on your nomination. Thank you for being here. Let me ask you about disturbing reports in the Washington Post today. The headline is, Documents Reveal U.S. Military's Frustration with White House Diplomats Over Afghanistan Evacuation. The Washington Post has been able to see a 2,000-page Army investigative report. This committee has not been able to see that report. It's not, I don't think, been made public. The Post has it. Their reporting today begins this way. Senior White House and State Department officials failed to grasp the Taliban's steady advance on Afghanistan's capital and resisted efforts by U.S. military leaders to prepare the evacuation of embassy personnel and Afghan allies weeks before Kabul's fall, placing American troops ordered to carry out the withdrawal in greater danger, according to sworn testimony from multiple commanders involved in the operation. General Farrell Sullivan goes on to say in his sworn testimony, in my opinion, the National Security Council, it's at the White House, was not seriously planning for an evacuation. Now, this report is disturbing for all kinds of reasons, not the least of which is it seems to directly contradict testimony that this committee has heard from, among others, General Milley, who had said that there was no way to have planned for or have anticipated the fall of Kabul. There was no way to have anticipated that anything like this would happen. And in fact, what the Army report seems to say is that military commanders repeatedly and for weeks, if not months, warned the White House and other leadership that something like this was imminently foreseeable, there needed to be action taken, and the White House and the State Department did nothing. Here's my question to you. I understand this morning that now CENTCOM and OSD have taken possession of this 2,000-page report. If you're confirmed, will you commit to releasing that full report to this committee?
Senator, I would defer to the Secretary of Defense and the Joint Staff on that.
So that's a no.
Senator, if it's within my authority to do so, I would, if confirmed.
If confirmed, and if it's within your, if it's up to you, you would do it.
Senator, I believe it is publicly available.
If confirmed, do you commit to provide to this committee in a timely manner any other information requested about the withdrawal in Afghanistan, including intelligence reports, assessments, and other material that may be at CENTCOM?
Senator, I will provide to the Secretary of Defense and the Joint Chiefs and oversight committees whatever is required.
Okay, the last part is the only part I'm interested in, the oversight committee. You would provide to this committee intelligence reports, assessments, other information that we request on the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Senator, I will come before this committee and testify on those reports.
That's not quite what I'm asking. I'm not asking about your testimony. I'm asking about you providing information that we directly request that may be held at CENTCOM. Would you commit to us, if you're confirmed, to providing for us information that may be held at CENTCOM regarding withdrawal from Afghanistan, intelligence reports, assessments, et cetera?
If it's within my authority to release, I would, Senator.
Great, thank you. And I just want to say for the record that this committee needs to have open public hearings on this report. We need to have open public hearings on what we've learned about what has happened in Afghanistan, and no more closed briefings behind closed doors that shut out the American public and the cameras that we see behind us. And frankly, this committee's scarce interest in finding out what has happened in Afghanistan, I think, reflects badly on this committee, and it's time for this. It's time for members of this committee to get serious about it. Let me ask you, General, the Secretary of Defense has designated China as the department's pacing threat and the Indo-Pacific is its priority theater. Can I just ask you for a yes or no answer? Do you agree with that assessment?
I do, Senator.
Great. If the Indo-Pacific is the priority theater, then it would follow that other theaters are by definition lower priorities. Not unimportant, but if they're not the priority theater, then other theaters are lower priorities, and that would include the Middle East, I would think. Do you agree with that the Middle East would be a lower priority theater as compared to the Indo-Pacific?
Per the 2018 NDS, that is accurate, Senator.
Okay. And do you agree with that assessment?
I do, Senator.
Okay, good, great. The Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs wrote for the record, this is Admiral Grady I'm referring to, wrote for the record that DOD needs to do less in lower priority theaters so it can focus more of its scarce resources on deterring China in the Indo-Pacific, barring a significant increase, of course, in the defense budget. Do you agree with that assessment by the Vice Chairman?
Senator, I do.
Very good. Let me shift squarely to your AOR. Recent reports show that Israel and the UAE are moving quickly to improve security and intelligence cooperation. You've been asked a little bit about that, I think, in earlier parts of today's hearing. That's a great example of the opportunities created by the Abraham Accords, and I know that you've testified today that you understand the possibilities there. It's an example, I think, of something that CENTCOM can support in years ahead now that Israel is part of your AOR, the CENTCOM AOR. If you're confirmed, here's my question. How would you plan to empower Israel and our Gulf partners to work together and to strengthen deterrence at the regional level against Iranian aggression? And I see my time's expired, so I'll let you answer that, General, and then I'll return to my time to the chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, I think I have to make an assessment of that to find the best method forward. I think it's by going to each individual country and making that assessment.